to order. Madam Secretary, call the roll, please.
Yes, ma'am. Chairman Griffin,
Present.
Vice Chairman Andrepont,
Here.
President Brame,
Here.
Mr. Guidry,
Here.
Mr. Hassan,
Here.
Dr. Mackey,
Present.
Mrs. Trimmie. Here. Everyone's present.
Thank you. Number 3, consideration of making a recommendation with reference to the following request for special service districts for grant funding from the Gaming Fund. 3-1, Ward 1, Waterworks District Number 1 of Ward 1 for $10,000 for the purchase of 1 single cab, half-ton pickup truck. And
Move. Second.
have a motion and a second. Do we have any opposition or concerns? I'll read the remaining of this item for the record. And further approving a cooperative endeavor agreement and authorizing the president of the police jury and his designee, when appropriate, to execute all documents related thereto. 3-2, Ward 2, Fire Protection District Number 1 of Ward 2 for $6,565 matching funds for the purchase of 1.
Move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion, concerns? 3-2 will pass. Number 3, Ward 3, Waterworks District Number 12.
Move on. 3-3. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any concerns or questions? If not, I'll read some of this for the record. Number 12 of Ward 3 for $50,000 for water system design related services. 3-4, Ward 4, Service District Number 8 of Ward 4, Mossville Sewer District, $7,925.21 for financial assistance related to the district's operational deficit for the period of 1999 to 2011.
Move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any concerns in opposition? If not, motion carried. The agenda notice: the police jury serves as the board for this district. Therefore, no agreement is necessary. 3-5, Ward 6, Fire Protection District Number 1 of Ward 6 for $95,000 for the purchase of 18 self-contained breathing apparatus units.
So move.
We need a second.
Second.
We have a second. Do we have any opposition or questions? If not, 3-2 will pass. And number 4, consideration of making a recommendation with reference to the following request for public entities for grant funding from the Gaming Fund. That's 4-1, Ward 4, District 14.
Move on. 4-1. Second.
We have a motion, a second. Do we have any opposition? Any concerns? If not, 4-1 will pass. And that's for the city of Westlake for $19,755 for the purchase of 15 XTS 2500 portable radios and caller microphones for use by the Westlake Police Department. And 4-2. Thank you. Ward 4, $1,000 from districts 12, 13, 14, and 15. Ward 4, Marshal's Office for $4,000. Mr. Andrepont.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the money that Marshal Guidry asks for every year for litter. And 12, 13, 14, 15 have always put up $1,000. However, this year he did ask me to consult with Mrs. Trimmie. Won't catch you off guard, but he did say that if Ms. Trimmie would put up $1,000, that he would venture into Ward 6.
Yes, I count that as a blessing. Thank you very much. I would like to be a part of that, so if we could add District 11, that would be awesome.
Thank you. Let the record show that 4-2 will now include $1,000 from Ms. Trimmie's. What's your district number again?
District 11, but it's out
District
of the,
11,
yeah.
12, 13, 14, and 15, which will be a total of $5,000.
If there's not a motion, I'll put it on the floor.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Do we have any concerns? Mr. Hassan?
Thank you. May I address Mr. Andrew?
Yes, sir, you may.
Is this the same program the former chief of police from?
Oh, yeah, he would go around to talk to schools and, you know.
Is that part of this program?
That's part of that.
Okay, great. It's a real
Sure is.
real beneficial program.
Actually, what he does is that when he goes to school, he's got a little paraphernalia, pencils, you know, and all that kind of thing that they pass out. That's really what he uses this money for.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Do we have any other concerns? If not, then 4-2 will carry. And number 5, consideration of making a recommendation with reference to approving a request from Southwest Louisiana Economic Development Alliance for grant funding in the amount of $25,000.
Move on 5.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Do we have any other concerns? I need to read this for the record. Enhancement of the Alliance's International Services Resource Program, with SAID funding being allocated from the Economic Development allocation of the Gaming Fund, and further approving a cooperative endeavor agreement and authorizing the president of the police jury or his designee when appropriate to execute all documents. The agenda notice, the Alliance is also seeking $25,000 from the City of Lake Charles as matching funds for this program. Number 5 will carry. Number 6, consideration of making a recommendation with reference to approving a request from the Louisiana State University Agriculture
Move on
Center.
6.
Second.
Mr. Spell, we have a motion and a second. If we do not have any concerns or questions, number 6 will carry. Mr. Hassan?
My question is on, I apologize, is on number 5.
That's okay. We'll go back to number 5. We will go back to number 5. The record will reflect Mr. Hassan has a question in reference to consideration of making a recommendation with reference to approving a request from the Southwest Louisiana Economic Development Alliance. Mr. Hassan?
Yes, if I could direct it to Mr. Beam. Is this 25,000 contingent upon the city's match?
Not really, if they didn't do it. I'll let George maybe update. I believe they're going to commit, but we didn't put it that strong. It is
I was
very,
just curious if it was that.
just to refresh your memory on this is the agreement, this supports the agreement between this area and the Lafayette area for international trade efforts. It's really a very positive and visionary thing. And I know the City of Lake Charles has been on board with that, so I really expect that they will match that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
That's fine. Okay, number 5 has already passed, and number 6, we had a motion and a second. Is that correct?
Correct.
And without any opposition, number 6 will carry. At this time, the chair would like to recognize Mr. Shannon Spell. Please come up, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chairman and fellow committee members. Please accept my apologies. I did not do a good job of communicating the complete request for Ward 1 out of the Gaming Allocation Fund. I would like to respectfully request the committee consider adding 3 additional items. And if I could, I'll briefly read 3 bullets. $46,860 for the installation of 1,310 feet.
Excuse me, Mr. Spell, would you help the chair understand what are you talking about? Is this an added number up here?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
this-
In addition to the 10,000,
And what number are you in reference to? 3-1?
3-1, yes,
In
ma'am.
addition to the 10,000? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You may carry on.
Thank you. Installation of 1,310 feet of 6-inch water line on LeBlanc Road, estimated at a cost of $46,860. Installation of 880 feet of 6-inch water line on Bertrand Road, estimated to a cost of $27,200. And installation of 880 feet of 6-inch water line on Rebec Road, estimated to cost $49,582. I didn't do the exact math, but that would bring the total request somewhere in the range between $110,000, $120,000 total out of the Ward 1 Gaming Allocation Fund.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second, and without any questions in opposition, that motion will carry. Clarification, please. So the total amount that you're asking for on 3-1 for Ward 1, Waterworks District Number 1 of Ward 1 is a total of 100 and...
Well, I did rough math, Madam Chairman.
Just go through the numbers.
What was
and
the
we-
second
I
amount?
just, the chair is requesting a total amount, or something in the neighborhood for the records as to what we're talking about.
The first number would be the 10,000.
Yeah, I have your other
already
totals, sir.
Second,
Just your round total with all of the 4 additions that you gave. What we got here?
I was going to ask Mr. Beam to,
What was the second
123,646
amount?
plus your
27,200.
10,000, that'll be $133,642. That is correct. Thank you, sir. I just wanted for clarification for the records. Now, Mr. President,
Can you repeat the amount, please?
it was $133,642, if my memory serves me correct.
123,642.
I was correct.
Brain.
123 in addition to the 10,000, which would be a total of $133,642. You're welcome. Do we have any other questions or concerns? If not,
So move, we adjourn.
Second.
Regular meeting of the police jury dated Thursday, March 3rd, 2011. We'll have the invocation by Ms. Griffin, followed by the pledge. Please stand.
let us pray. Heavenly Father, we are so thankful that you have allowed us to once again come before your throne of grace, hoping that we may obtain your mercy at this meeting so that we will be able to do those things which are pleasing and acceptable in your sight. And we ask for a special blessing tonight that the decisions we make will be so beneficial and that you will be smiling. We ask for a special blessing on Calcasieu Parish, our people, places, and things. These are the things you have given us permission to ask for and have promised us a life that is full of bountiful blessings filled with your mercy and grace. And now, O Lord God in heaven, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be found acceptable in your sight. In the name of Jesus the Christ, amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin.
Thank you.
Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Yes, sir. Mr. Endricott?
Here.
Mr. Collins?
Here.
Mr. Farnum?
Here.
Mrs. Griffin?
Present.
Mr. Guidry?
Here.
Mr. Hassan?
Here.
Mr. Landry?
Here.
Dr. Mackey?
Present.
Mr. McMillan?
Here.
Mr. Scott?
Here.
Vice President Spell?
here,
Mr. Stelly?
Here.
Mr. Sias?
Present.
Mrs. Trimmy?
Here.
And President Brain.
Here.
Everyone's present.
Thank you, Kathy. Before we get started, if anybody in the audience would like to speak on any agenda item tonight, there's some blue slips in the back of the room. You can just fill those out and bring them up front to Jessica. She'll get them to me. And also, if you have a cell phone, just ask you silence them, please. With that, we'll go to item 5, receive a status report from Mr. Michael Sawyer, Director of the Calcasieu Parish Library System, on the ongoing activities. Mr. Sawyer.
Thank you. I'm Mike Sawyer, the director of the Calcasieu Parish Public Library. And before I start with the special presentation, I would like to inform you that circulation for 2010 was up again 6%. And for the second straight year, we circulated over 1 million items, 1,061,474 to be exact. This is the second highest circulation in our library history. The highest circulation was 1,075,000 in 1999. In addition, over 705,000 people visited the library, an increase of 12% from 2009. For the past 2 years, the overall circulation increased by 23%, and that reinforces that the people truly do love their library. You may have noticed that the American Library Association, also known as ALA, produced the Read posters containing heroes, authors, and celebrities, which are hung in the library. We recognize that you became police jurors because you wanted to improve the quality of life in Calcasieu Parish. No doubt that you had to make some challenging decisions over the years. Tonight, the library would like to do a special presentation. You have supported the library system over the years and helped make this one of the finest in the country. We would like to show you our appreciation for your support. You're our hero, you're our celebrity. So we've created a Read poster with your picture on it.
How sweet is that?
Oh, no way.
Wait, I know her.
How sweet is that? That's awesome. How sweet is that? I I got my Harley on.
Look at there, baby. Yeller.
Yeah, we did that over there in that side room. You know, picture.
Really?
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, Jason said, Sandy, maybe you
wanna
better
turn
take
around,
that
show
hat off.
Yeah.
Because it says Harley. It says Harley, but I'd have been bald headed then.
Michael, do we get to keep those?
I will, when we get, I will follow up with my speech as soon as we get this taken care of.
me.
But I didn't notice about that good-looking guy before
That was a good idea y'all had. That was good. I was liaison to the library board.
Okay. In putting these posters together,
Which one did you have?
Oh, Yeller.
Yes, I did.
Okay, Michael, you want to go ahead and continue?
I worked very hard, but
I'm sorry, I
didn't
can't
make
hear
You want to go ahead and continue?
Yes. In putting these posters together, my staff was amused because two jurors, Hassan and Stelly, selected their favorite book, The Godfather, which happened to be mine as well. This was our Manhattan Project. As a pretext, Jessica Conrad interviewed you about your favorite book and took a picture of each one of you so we can create these posters. Now that you've received the poster, this presentation will be put together in your interview and to be broadcast on CGov as part of the Paris Line Show. These posters are yours to keep. You may want to hang them in your office or place of business. We are placing our copy in the library that is located in your district, so it will inspire our users to read. I would like to thank Jason Barnes, Jessica Conrad, and the PJ staff involved with the project, along with Judy Davison, Christy Duhan, and the library staff that worked on this project. Finally, before I complete my presentation, I would like to call upon our parish administrator to the podium for his poster.
Come on, Brown.
State your name and position with the parish.
We know you make some challenging decisions as well, and I'd like to present with you with your poster.
Good one. Turned it out really
Very nice.
good. Awesome.
Very nice.
And that concludes our presentation. If you have any questions, we'll be happy
Any
to
jurors
entertain
have any
them.
questions? for
But
Mr.
we wanted to surprise you and show you all.
Thank you, Mr. Sawyer.
Thank you.
My grandkids
Appreciate
say
you all
put
very much.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
a
very
little
much.
fig on it.
Thank you so
Green eggs and ham.
That was very, very nice.
Thank y'all so much.
Very nice.
They tricked us, you know it?
Thank you, Michael.
Appreciate it. We really
Appreciate
Gotta
it.
have one bad picture.
That is very cool.
Thank you very much.
We gotta have one bad picture.
Thank y'all so much for coming.
Could I get a motion to receive report?
Move. Move.
Thank you, Michael.
I have 15 motions. and
Michael, all I'm gonna say is you tricked us.
How about I second it then?
That was the whole idea. We wanted to make this a surprise.
You tricked us. That's pretty
job.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Without any discussion, we'll move to item 6,
Very nice.
or opposition. Item 6, presentation by Ms. Mary Kay Alamon, Office of Juvenile Justice Services regarding the Mardi Gras alcohol-free zone and other related activities. Mary Kay, just state your name and position with the police jury.
Mary Kay Alamon. I'm the project director of Project No with the Office of Juvenile Justice Services. And I want to thank you, President Brame, for appearing with me this morning on KPLC, getting up bright and early. We had to be there at 5:45.
Been there, done that.
Was early.
So,
President did a
and,
great
I
job.
think he went home and took a nap because he
No, I
looks more
did.
refreshed than I did. But as you can see on the monitors, these are some of the pictures from last year. It was huge. It was so successful. All the kids had a great time. And this year, our third annual year, we expect to be even better. So we have Cumulus Broadcasting is going to be out there with the radio, with music. We have Fox TV that's going to be out there all day broadcasting live and interviewing kids. We have T-shirts. By the way, I don't have T-shirts. I mean, I don't have posters for you guys, but I do have T-shirts. I have T-shirts and bags in the back. We're going to be giving away cups, Frisbees, free food, hot dogs, cotton candy, popcorn,
Wow.
Coca-Cola. We have some great community partners that helped out with this. And tobacco-free living. Of course, the zone will be alcohol and tobacco-free. And we have security that will be monitoring that. And we also have Acadian ambulance that will be stationed in the zone so that we have any skint knees. Hopefully not, but last year went off perfectly. And, I mean, everybody just had such a great time. It was very safe. And the first parade rolls at 1 o'clock. We start at 12 o'clock, and we stay there till 5. The first parade rolls at 1 o'clock, and it's the Hot Rod Parade. So kids will be able to watch the parade from there, and then at 5 o'clock we'll shut down, and the crew of crews will come by at 5:30. So we invite all of you guys, of course, to come out. I know President Brain will be out there all day, right?
All day. Mary Kay, isn't there a dunking booth that you're going to be sitting in?
Yeah, we canceled that today. They canceled on us, I'm sorry. No, but I did have you set up for that. If you'd like me to get it, I sure will.
No, that's okay.
Okay. We have a lady that's going to be doing caricatures all day.
Wonderful.
How cool is that?
Some of the jurors before the meeting said that they would like to pay to challenge Hal to each one of those. Each of us take a challenge at Hal.
Yeah, that's
with
a
the,
great idea. I want to.
That would be a big fundraiser. It'd probably pay for the whole thing, actually. or maybe Mr. McMillan would volunteer to be in the
This is the
dunking booth.
this is
That
the
would
copy
make
of
a lot
the.
money as well.
Up on the screen
Go
now
ahead,
is the
Mary Kay.
layout. You can see the layout between Kirby and Pujo. We have the whole lot. We are going to be moving the radio truck, as you can see, to accommodate the store owner on the corner there. So, but everything else will be set up as it is. So, we invite y'all, please come out and enjoy the day.
Thank you.
It should be a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move to receive report.
Thank you, Mr. Anspron. Second by Mr. Hassan. Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Mary Kay. Take appropriate action on applications for liquor and beer permits. Mr. Vickers.
Mr. President, we have 4 applications. We recommend they all
Move
be
to
approved.
approve.
Second.
Have a motion by Ms. Griffin and a second by Mr. Guidry. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. We'll go to item 8, consideration of approval
Move on
of
8.
payment of all current invoices. Have a motion by Mr. Anderspont and a second by Dr. Mackey. Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 9, consideration of approving the
Second.
minutes of the regular police jury meeting dated February 3rd, 2011. Have a motion by Mr. Collins and a second by Mr. Farnham.
Do the whole thing.
Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 10, consideration of
Move on
approving
10,
the
all
Solids Waste and Litter Abatement Committee
Second.
report dated February 24th, 2011. Ms. Trimming.
If y'all would humor me just a minute, they put my name on the deal to go over the report for the solid waste and litter abatement meeting that we had that actually went on for over an hour. And I'm not going to keep y'all very long, but I do have to just run over everything with you if you don't mind. It was recommended by the committee that we hire H. Curtis Vincent and Stephen D. Shows, architects, APC, for plans and specifications related to the construction of the 2 solid waste convenience centers. And that was passed by the committee to be presented to you tonight. Also, on the 2 solid waste, we got a report from Alan. And Alan, I'm going to just run through this so you don't have to really answer any questions. The 2 sites were selected at the East Maintenance Facility and the West Maintenance Facility, and they procured the spots that they would like to have these done. And the I guess what we'll do first is the design and construction team, Curtis Vincent and Stephen Shows, if we could, I could go ahead and make a motion on 10-1 and
Second.
I
Motion
go
and a
do
second.
10-1.
Okay. Any objection, discussion on that motion? Any objection? Hearing none, go ahead, Ms. Trimming.
Thank you. On 10-2, this is on the proposals for the collection and disposal, and there were many questions, and the good news is many of you were there at that meeting to be able to listen to the really good questions that we had and were answered. And Alan Wainwright has done a tremendous job of starting this process, and we're just in the embryo stage of getting this process started. We all know it's a it's a big project. But the main thing is the typical materials accepted: household garbage, brown goods, white goods, vegetation waste, and tires. No hazardous or commercial or industrial, that type of thing. And he gave us an overview of what the convenience centers would look like, which are simple but quality, and will give us a real good way to keep Calcasieu Parish litter-free. The residential solid waste and collection disposal, he gave us a barometer on how they were going to do the request for proposals. They're preparing those now, and all questions will have plenty of time because we have more meetings of the Solid Waste Committee, so we'll be able to have a lot more meetings concerning that. He gave us a proposed schedule of 2/24/11, which is when we had the first committee meeting, and then we have another one scheduled for 3/17/11, which you'll note that that is a Thursday that we don't usually meet, but we will be meeting on that Thursday. It'll be an extra Thursday that month, so that we can get all of this together and in a timely manner. Then we'll meet again on 3/31/11, and on 4/7/11 we'll take appropriate action on the Solid Waste Committee recommendations of the final RFP. He gave us their goals. They were specific goals on the proposals of the solid waste disposal to elevate these proposals so that we would that our people are going to get not only good garbage collection, they're going to get the best they can get in Calcasieu Parish. And so I think the people of Calcasieu Parish are going to be very pleased. I did take a lot of notes. I'm not going to go through all the notes I took, but we thank the people of Calcasieu Parish for having the confidence in this police jury and for giving us the opportunity to be able to do this. A 1.5-cent sales tax, 1 cent being our roads, and blacktopping of all the old gravel roads that we did back in 1992 and have continued since then, and the garbage. And the garbage has been a tremendous success, and the people of Calcasieu Parish have honored us with that continuation of that tax. So the explanation and proposal of the system, the census information, the contract payments, the specifications, instruction, the elevation criteria, the rate proposals, and the contract information is all going to be in the request for proposal. We have a wonderful committee, and the only other thing, the key issues to decide are the scope of the work, the level of service, and the contract terms. They could be anywhere from 5 to 10 years. They could be, somewhere in that range or whatever. So all of these things are key issues that our staff is dealing with. They're doing this on a value system, on a point system, and they're also going to evaluate and have the review panel and then a proponent presentation, and then they'll have the minimum contractor requirements: years of experience, equipment, either owned or leased, or financial stability. So that's just a quick down and dirty on our committee that we had, and I move to accept the committee report.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Any viewers have any questions? Hearing none, and no objection. Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Trimming.
Thank you.
We'll go to item 11, consideration of approving the Public Works Committee.
Move on 11,
report
all
dated
bullets.
February 24, 2011. Is that with all bullets, Andrew Pont? Yeah, okay.
Dr. Andrew Ponte.
Dr. Andrew Pont, sorry. Mr. Collins actually made the motion, right? Okay, Mr. Collins. And a second by Mr. Guidry with all bullets. I will go ahead and read them in the record. 11-1, presented a certificate to Ms. Haley McCowan for her efforts in securing donations for the Calcasieu Parish Animal Services and Adoption Center following the loss of her family pets. 11-2, donation of right-of-way from TR 106 LLC on Carbina Road. 11-3, amendment to consent to cross U.S. government easement between the police jury and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. 11-4, advise that Mr. Klaus D. Smart, parish engineer, had retired following 32 years of distinguished service, and further that Mr. Tim Connor, Assistant Parish Engineer for many years, has been named Parish Engineer. 11.5, advised that Mr. Nathan Areno was recently employed as Director of the Animal Services and Adoption Center, and that is it. And we have any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Go to item 12. Consideration approving the
On
agenda
12.
committee report dated February 24, 2011. Motion by Dr. Andrew Pontnev, second by Mr. Guidry. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 13, consideration of approving the budget committee report dated March 3, 2011. Ms. Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. President. My colleagues, the Budget Committee met earlier today, and we bring you the following items. We had a unanimous approval on all of them. I bring these for your consideration. 3-1 Ward 1, Waterworks District, number 1 of Ward 1, for $133,642 for the purchase of one single cab half-ton pickup truck, and also for several other items that Mr. Spell added on. And now 3-2 is $6,565 for Fire Protection District number 1 of Ward 2. 3-3 Ward 3 Waterworks District number 12 of Ward 3 for $50,000. 3-4 Ward 4 Search District number 8 of Ward 8 Mossville District $7,925.21. And 3-5 Ward 6 Fire Protection District number 1 of Ward 6 for $95,000. On number 4, we had Ward 4 District 14 City of Westlake $19,755. Ward 4 $5,000 from District 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Number 5 was $25,000 for the Southwest Louisiana Economic Development Alliance for the grant funding in the amount of $25,000. Number 6 was a consideration of making a recommendation with reference to approving from the Louisiana State University of Agriculture $2,450. The chair, I'm going to go back to number 5 and also add the agenda note was the $25,000 that is being requested from the police jury. The Alliance is also seeking $25,000 from the city of Lake Charles. I move for the jury to accept the recommendations.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin, for the report. We have a motion by Ms. Griffin and a second by Dr. Mackey. Anybody have any discussion? Any objection? Yeah, he did. Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Griffin. We'll go to item 14, consideration of adopting a resolution to ratify and confirm action approved by the police jury at its regular meeting on February 3rd, 2011, calling a referendum election on April 30th, 2011. I need a motion.
Move on 14.
Motion by Mr. Sias and a second by Mr. Farnham. Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 15, consideration of adopting a resolution urging the county.
Move on 15.
Second.
Congressional delegation to support the Community Development Block Grant Formula funding the fiscal year 2011 and fiscal year 2012 at the current level of funding. I have a motion by Dr. Andrew Bont and a motion by Mr. McMillan. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Go ahead, Mr. McMillan.
I'd just like to reiterate how important this resolution is on behalf of the police jury to our congressional district. Especially in my district, Mossville had $1.1 million CDBG money. Throughout the parish, we have a lot of grants come in for block grants. I can tell you the High Hope Road area got some Hurricane Rita money through CDBG that is going to be instrumental in drainage up in that part. For them to cut this is going to hurt our parish. We want to make sure that they understand the importance of these grants coming locally. So I hope that we can really put a high priority on this resolution and make sure if any of us happen to talk to our congressman on a federal level, we need to make sure that they understand that this is so important to our parish. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan. Ms. Trimmie.
Actually, thank you, Hal, for bringing that to my attention, because I just want to make you aware that the first phase of the water project in Starks was a $750,000 CDBG grant that actually did the northern part of the Starks from Highway 12 north, and then the USDA and the taxes that the people voted on themselves are doing the rest of it. So it's very important to Calcasieu Parish in many ways, and I just hope and pray that they can hold this to at least the same level. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Trimmer. Any other discussion, Ms. Griffin?
I have a statement to make in reference to this money. They're doing a lot of cuts now, so this is one of the reasons why we are so kind of full of anxiety with this, and I hope that the letter of support will work out, and I guess constantly keeping a tab and constantly going back and forth and talking. Hopefully they won't, but we do know it's going to have a devastating effect on us, Calcasieu Parish, if we don't get it. But it's going to be something to wait for. They're not spending. They're not sending any money out. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin. Any other discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, that motion will carry. Item 16, consideration of adopting a resolution authorizing issuance by the Calcasieu Parish Public Trust Authority of not exceeding 20
So move.
Second.
of its single-family mortgage revenue bonds. Have a motion by Ms. Trimmy and a second by Dr. Mackey. Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 17, consideration of adopting a resolution approving the call of an election to be held on October 22nd, 2011 by the Board of Commissioners of
Move on
Highway
17.
5
Second.
Protection District Number 1 of Ward 8, authorizing the renewal of 2 5-mil ad valorem property taxes. Have a motion by Mr. Staley and a second by Mr. Hassan. Is there any discussion?
Not on that one, Mr. President.
Go ahead, Mr.
On the 16,
Yes, ma'am.
is that 20 million
20, that's what I read.
and not, is it 20 million? Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. 17, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 18, consideration of adopting a resolution approving the
Move
call
on
of an
18.
election to be held on October 22nd, 2011 by the Board of Commissioners of Community Center and Playground District Number 3 of Ward 7, authorizing the renewal of a 3-mil ad valorem property tax. Have a motion by Mr. Hassan and a second by Mr. Guidry. Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 19, consideration of adopting a resolution approving an amendment to a cooperative endeavor agreement between the police jury and the state of Louisiana, Division of Administration, Office of Facility Planning and Control for additional funding related to Phase 3 of the Burton Memorial Coliseum Complex project. I have a motion by Ms. Griffin and a second by Mr. Sias. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. We'll go to item 20. Consideration of adopting a resolution approving the renewal of a lease agreement between the police jury and Sylvia S. Pastrana, Inc. for the office space on a certain portion of the third floor of the Magnolia Building. I have a motion by Mr. Farnham and a second by Ms. Griffin. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 21. Excuse me. Consideration of adopting a resolution approving the renewal of a lease agreement between the police jury and the Southwest Louisiana Economic Development Alliance for office space on a certain portion of the 5th floor, on a certain portion of the 6th floor of the Magnolia Building. Have a motion by Mr. McMillan and a second by Mr. Farnham. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 22, consideration of adopting a resolution indicating
22, all bullets.
no objection to the following proposed projects in Calcasieu Parish. I have a motion by Dr. Andrew Pont and a second by Ms. Griffin. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Let's see. I guess I need to read. Was that on all bullets?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it was, Mr. President.
I'll go ahead and read them in the record real quickly. 22-1, proposal of Cameron Parish Police Jury requesting an extension of time to complete previous authorized work. 22-2, proposed of Powell Timber Company to enhance approximately 100.1 acres of pine, flatwood, savanna wetlands. 22.3, proposal of Great Southern Group LLC to facilitate constructing, building foundations, parking lots, and driveways, all as necessary to implement a 7-acre commercial development. And,
I just have a question on that.
yes, go ahead, Dr. Mack.
I've just not run into the term pimple mounds. Can someone tell me what that means?
Jimmy knows about pimple mounds.
Okay.
Well, basically what they're doing, they're setting up a, I don't really know what the term pimple mounds means, I'll be honest with you, but what they are doing is setting up a mitigation bank, which is really good because for people that need to do wetlands delineations and so forth, they can get the credits from this. So it's a really good thing that Powell Timber is doing. It gives some competition. We have some other mitigation banks already in the parish, but competition's good. But I'm not sure exactly what the pimple mound means.
Just a term I hadn't run into. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy, for that explanation. Okay, any discussion? I have a motion and a second, that's right. Any objection? Hearing none, item 22 and all bullets will carry. Item 23, consideration of adopting a resolution authorizing the submittal of the municipal separate storm sewer system 2010 stormwater annual report to the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality. I have a motion by Ms. Griffin and a second by Dr. Mackey. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 24, receive report from staff.
17.
Second.
What's that?
24, Jim.
Okay.
That's where we're at.
I think 24.
Where you
Yeah, we don't meet
Okay,
it.
we're going to move to defer it?
on 24?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
I seconded it.
Okay, Mr. McMillan. You all want me to read in the record? Okay. Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. We defer 24. Item 25, consideration of approving the following request from the Office of Juvenile Justice Services. I have a motion by Mr. Sias and a second by Ms. Griffin on that. I guess that's on 25.12. 25.1, adopt a resolution authorizing the submittal of a continuation grant application in the amount up to $40,000 and to the Louisiana Commission of the Law Enforcement for case manager. I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion. Wait a minute. Wait, I got 25 too. I'm sorry. Adopt a resolution authorizing the submittal of a continuation grant application in the amount up to $30,000 to the Louisiana Commission on Law Enforcement for counseling services. 25.3, adopt a resolution authorizing the submittal of a grant application in an amount of up to $625,000 to the National Office of Drug Control Policy, Drug-Free Communities. Okay, any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 26.
Move on 26, all bullets.
Second. Consideration of authorizing the parish person agent to advertise for the following: 26.1, 2011 3/4 ton extended cab and chassis trucks. 26.2, bulk oil and propane. That's hard to say. Item 26.3, request for proposal for a mobile electronic reporting application. 26.4, 2 750 gallons per minute. That threw me there. High volume pumps. I have a motion by Dr. Mackey and a second by Mr. Collins on all bullets. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 27, take appropriate action on the bids received by the parish person agent for Calcasieu Parish Project number 2011-2. I have a motion by Mr. Collins and a second by Mr. Scott. I'll read the agenda note. The low bid in the amount of $1,867,316.89 of Ori Height Construction Company, Inc. will be accepted. Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 28, take appropriate action on the bids received by the parish person agent for Calcasieu Parish Project number 2011-07.
Move on 28.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Landry and a second by Mr. Scott. I'll go ahead and read the agenda note. The low bid in the amount of $10,897,485.24 of W.E. McDonald and Son LLC be accepted. Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 29, take appropriate action on the expiration of the term of Dr. John F. Moffitt as a member of the Airport Authority of Airport District Number 1. Have a motion by Mr. Landry, a second by Mr. Scott. Any discussion?
Well,
It's to appoint Lucas Terracino.
Be appointed.
Let's see, where am I?
Dr. Moffitt.
29.
Okay, that's the agenda. The agenda committee recommended that Mr. Lucas Terracino be appointed. Item 30.
Move on 30.
Take appropriate action on the expiration of the term of Miss Rachel Garner as a member of the Board of Commissioners of the Calcasieu Parish Communications District. Have a motion by Dr. Mackey
And a second.
and a second by Vice President Spell. Any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 31,
Move
take
on 31.
Take appropriate action on the expiration of the term of Ms. Susan G. Vasilio as a member of the Board of Commissioners of the Calcasieu Parish Communications District. I have a motion by Dr. Mackey and a second by Mr. Landry. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 32, take appropriate action on the expiration of the term of Mr. Kip Coltrane as a member of the Board of Commissioners of Ward 4 Fire Protection District Number 2. Have a motion by Mr. Hassan and a second by Mr. Farnham. Any discussion? Go ahead, Dr.
Mr. Hal McMillan is going to give us a paper on pimple mounds next meeting.
No problem. Thank you, Dr. Mackey. Okay.
Where are we? I can think of one.
Okay, 33 is an advise that the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury Division of Finance has been awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the fiscal year 2009 from the Government Financial Affairs Association, 9th consecutive year. So why don't we give them a hand of applause? That's to Jerry and Tammy. Thank y'all for your hard work.
19 years.
19.
I see that, 19.
Said 9.
19 years, consecutive years.
Consecutive.
That's good. Thank you, Jerry and Tammy, for y'all's hard
That's
work that
good.
y'all do. Yes,
We're
Mr.
adjourned.
Green.
No.
I think the applause is certainly in order. That I don't know if it's exactly the same, but it's like 3% of local governments get this, and I know y'all appreciate it. Certainly, anybody in the public that's following this, it is a very high award, and the fact that it's 19 in a row is that sometimes we all take that for granted. But Jerry and Tammy do a great job, and thank y'all for recognizing that.
Thank you,
You're
Mr.
awesome.
Bean. Go ahead, Mr.
I was
Landry.
going to say, Mr. Beam, you need to find out of that 3%, how many has done it 19 years in a row. And
Yeah.
that
That's
would
right.
be a lot lower than 3%,
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine.
I'd like a personal point of privilege if y'all don't mind. Okay, I see Tim sitting there. It's kind of a new face sitting there. We're going to miss Claude, but Tim, it's good to see you sitting there, and glad to have you on board there. The second thing I'd like to say, if Ms. Trimmy doesn't mind me saying this, that we're just thankful that you're back 100% cancer-free and just good to go. And
Thank you.
we love you, and we know it's been a tough year for you, and we've seen you go through it, but we went through it with you.
Thank you,
so,
guys.
but we're glad you're back.
I'm blessed
Yeah, thank
and
you
honored.
so much.
Thank you very much.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Dr. Andrew Font and a second by Ms. Griffin. We're adjourned.